My full name is Dr. Ecaterina Stepaniuc, and I am an assistant professor for the Department of Journalism and Mass Communications here at North Carolina A&T. So for this piece, for the Crosby Kids study, we had a wonderful team of 3 people that came along from different departments on campus. The lead author is Dr. Kim Smith, who is an associate professor for the Department of JOMC. I am the second author, and then the third author is the assistant dean for the library studies, library services, Mr. Forrest Foster. The first one is that this study is rooted in social identity theory, and it helps us understand why journalism students from North Carolina A&T tend to favor advice from alumni over advice from faculty. And we get to see that every fall when we have the alumni takeover event happen during the GHO week, and when alumni come from all over the country and they walk into our classrooms, our students for some reason switch. They become a lot more engaged. I see them raising their hand and asking questions. They're taking notes. And sometimes what's interesting to me is that the alumni provides the same advice I get to repeat over and over again in my classes, but for some reason it clicks with the students a lot more, or it clicks on a more personal level when they hear it from an alumni. Well, I think the rationale for the study is basically for us to serve as maybe, not necessarily as a foundation, but serve as an insight into how and why students respond better to alumni feedback and mentorship compared to faculty mentorship. If I were to give you a personal note, any research that I do, I try to revise my own courses and understand what are some things I need to update and change. So during our study, actually, some of the students, we asked them, and out of the 11 students that we interviewed and we surveyed for the study, we did a thematic analysis, and out of the 11 students, most of them voiced the same things. And when that happens, you see a pattern, and when you see a pattern, it should raise your attention. So what they said is that they want faculty to be more engaged. How? They want faculty to provide hands-on activities. Okay, so I teach media software tools. In my courses, I try to arrange every assignment in a way that my students are going to get their hands dirty. I want them to mess up with the software. I want them to break it, fix it, until they get to a point of feeling comfortable with it. And when you see the students doing that consistently, you get to see a great level of confidence in them. I currently have students who are taking these courses who are now serving other departments on campus and doing internships based on the skills they've learned. So the fact that we did the study and I drew a conclusion and then I applied whatever the conclusion was in my courses, I see the results coming to fruition. Now, a lot of times students don't know that most of us faculty come from a professional environment. I worked as a reporter for a national newspaper back in my country. So I have some practice to bring to the table, but they don't know if I don't tell them. They also don't know what research we're doing. So when we go to these conferences and when we do these studies and we publish them and I bring a link to the class and I show them, hey guys, remember some of you participated in a study, we had it published and these are the results. I think they feel that they become part of the team, and that gap between instructor and student gets to softly, yes, close.